What's up guys, your girl Giovanna here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back home and the house is crowded. There's a lot of us in there. It's loud. So I came into the car to film this little video so I can get it up for you guys tonight since I didn't post a video last week. I saw Alex and Michael, they have a YouTube channel. I was watching one of their videos that was like their decade in review and I was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. Since we are at the end of the year, I'm gonna just, you know, kind of reminisce on my decade and tell you guys about my decade. Let's just get into the video. 2010, I was a junior in high school. Didn't have a lot going on. I had a lot going on because I was a junior in high school. You know, in high school, you're just like very busy, you know. Actually, whenever I was a junior, I was very dedicated into my studies. If you don't know this about me, I was actually wanting to go to school to be an OBGYN. So I was so studious. I literally probably went to one, maybe two high school parties, maybe. Yeah, I was just very studious and a typical high schooler, I guess. I had a lot going on with like extracurriculars, you know. You always, I don't know, as a high schooler, I feel like you always go like above and beyond, and then once you get out, it's kind of like you're not as an overachiever. 2011, I graduated high school. It wasn't as exciting for me as other people because I went to a JUCO here in Liberal, so I wasn't gonna be like moving out, living in the dorms. I was just gonna be living at home. So it was honestly, I think my JUCO, my first 2 years of college was kind of like high school. It was very similar to that. I feel like I was very studious. I still didn't really go out and party at all. Like, I mean, I just did like cheer and dance and I did school, and that's basically all I did. And so yeah, I went to a JUCO here. That was kind of 2011. I graduated high school, started college. It was kind of still like high school because there's so many other people that stayed here, which was nice. You know, I wasn't hit with being out of my comfort zone whenever I was 17, 18. And yeah, it was nice. I saved a lot of money staying back home. 2012. Wow, my life was not exciting. Again, it was just the same thing. Let's see, 2012, was there anything exciting? Yeah. Oh my god. Like I said, I just did school and work. Yeah, I was just very studious back then. 2013, I graduated with my associates. I moved to Wichita to continue my education there at Wichita State University. And I quit my job at, if you don't know, Liberal, Kansas is known basically for Dorothy's house. I quit my job that obviously is probably not a big deal to you guys, but I was there for like 8 years. No, I was there for like 7 years. I literally started working at Dorothy's house since I was like 12 years old. So that was like a big deal for me because I started as a little Dorothy tour guide and then I worked there for so long. I actually lived with my sister there in Wichita. That semester, I stopped being dedicated to my school and I was kind of starting to be confused on what I wanted to do with my life because a year before that I had shadowed an OBGYN and then I shadowed a couple other physicians and I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I still loved medicine and I loved science. And 2013 was whenever I was starting to get a little confused about my future. So then I decided Wichita wasn't really a place for me. I literally just went to school and came back home and I didn't really even study. I know it's like, I don't know, I just felt very unmotivated. I just didn't feel like I belonged there. So I transferred. I moved to college a lot. So I transferred from Wichita State, stopped going to school there, moved somewhere else. I was really nervous because this was gonna be my first time not being within a family at all. It was just gonna be like friends that I knew from back home. I was like looking for a place to be staying just because I was gonna be leaving in the middle of the semester. So I talked to one of my close friends from Liberal, some friends that recommended me talk to that two sisters that they were looking for a roommate and they were actually from Liberal. So I like knew of them, but I never like talked to them. I was like nervous about it because I was like, this is like my first time like living with someone that I've never like know them, you know? So I was like really nervous about it. So I went to go talk to them, you know. I moved there in 2014. I really enjoyed it, but again, like I just wasn't really motivated to like be doing school, and obviously that's why I'm there, you know. That first semester was it was not a good semester. Wasn't sure what I wanted so I kind of just didn't try too hard. It was just an adjustment, I can say that. The next semester, we're still in 2014, and I really was just like applying to everywhere. I was applying to jobs because I know I needed a job, and then I needed to really get into like being me again. It's just like, I feel like that past year, I just like lost myself and I was just kind of all over the place. And I was like, okay, I need to like bring, you know, kind of get back into it and like focus on me. I applied everywhere. So I applied to Chipotle, okay? I actually had applied to Olive Garden about the same time. I went to my interviews at Chipotle and everything was good. I think I had a second interview as well, and the day I had an interview at Olive Garden, I get an email from Chipotle and they tell me, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure this was what the email said. I'm not being dramatic. It said, "You're not burrito material." Now, I was offended because I make a mean burrito. I went to my interview the day at Olive Garden and it went well. So I had a second interview and then I got hired. I started meeting new people. I started actually wanting to study and do things for myself. And I guess some advice, if you're moving away from college and you don't really know anyone, I know you've probably heard this, but yeah, get extracurricular activities. But actually, I think the best thing is to like get a serving job. Everyone should serve at least once in their life because you appreciate other servers whenever you go to restaurants, but also you meet so many people because of like the teamwork that's going on as being as a server. You actually are kind of forced to talk to people versus if you're just doing an extracurricular activity, you can easily be like, I don't want to go today, but a job, you have to go. So that's something I would actually encourage. Get like a serving job where you're like forced to talk to people and you'll meet a lot of great people, especially if you're in a college town. Like I promise you, things will get better. 2015, I can say was like my prime time because this is when I was working hard. My grades were getting way better. I was doing good. I met Alec. I actually met him in 2014, but we didn't actually like talk until 2015. I was very content with my life in 2015. I was just hanging out, going to school, going to work, hanging out with friends, and 2015 was just a very chill prime time year. It was just a good year for me. In 2016, I graduated with my bachelor's in biology, kind of going back to what I wanted to do after. I worked as an undergrad in a organic chemistry lab. I started that maybe like whenever I was a junior in college. I fell in love with research. That's kind of where I was like, okay, I don't want to do medical school anymore. There's a few things that kind of went into like doing med school. I actually started talking to professors and I did undergraduate research and I loved research. I fell in love with it, so I decided to take a year off. So I was working at Olive Garden, yeah, and I was still doing research. Applied to a graduate position. And at this point, I know I really liked working with microorganisms, so especially bacteria. So I went and go talk to a microbiologist and he was like, hey, I have this open for you. And I was like, okay. So he basically like hired me on the spot and he actually gave me that summer to work in his lab and make sure that it was something that I wanted to do. And I liked it. And it's kind of weird because it's at a vet school. People are like, oh, so are you a vet now? And I'm like, no. Like I didn't know anything about animal science. Like I had to learn so much. Honestly, I really like that I took this position. And like I said, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I didn't get any of those other jobs until I literally was denied from everything. I applied to like 20 jobs and Olive Garden was the one that finally hired me. And I wouldn't have met Alec if that wasn't the case. Now that I got offered this position, I was kind of iffy about taking it just because it was going to be more of animal research and that isn't my passion. But you know, animal research has to be done before like doing human clinical trials. So I love that I'm like more of a well-rounded scientist now. And that was like 2016 to 2017. So in 2017, I also started grad school. So in 2008, I honestly just working on my graduate degree and finished doing research, got engaged, and that was a big year. 2019, girl started her big girl job. I started a YouTube channel, something that I've been wanting to do for like 3 years. I'm not even kidding. 2019 has just kind of been a year of preparing myself for everything exciting that is coming in the future. 2020 is going to be a very big and exciting year for my family, and I'm just really excited and I'm very blessed. This decade turned out to be something completely different than what my plans were. Everything happens for a reason. We make our plan, but God makes his own plan, and I'm very grateful and blessed for the experiences, whether it be good or bad. It's brought me to where I am today, and I really am very excited for what's to come. The biggest thing for me is gonna be my wedding, and what? I'm getting married. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are excited about 2020. This is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and kind of like had a little reminiscing about my past decade, and I hope I didn't go way off the rail too much. Give this video a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Subscribe if you're not already, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.